We're back in Batemans Bay again, and we're looking at the food, the coffee, and the bike parking at cafes around the area. Now, I've been focusing on cafes because I like going to cafes, but I also, I'm covering other businesses. Now, this place, Alfresco Coffee or Alfresco Roasters, is in the middle of town, and it's in a reasonably quiet street, and it's a good place to visit. And what I've been doing is going to cafes just everywhere around the area, trying their food, their coffee, their service, their bike parking. And I've got to say, the food in general has been absolutely fantastic. The coffee's been really good. Service is generally pretty good. Bike parking, yeah, there's a little bit of it, but there's very, very little of it. I mean, so many places just have nothing, and you've got to kind of make do. There are some places that do have it, and sometimes it's secure and sometimes it's convenient, but a lot of the time it's not. So if you're with a group or you're with a family and you want to get around by bike, options are really limited. But anyway, here we are at Alfresco, and look, I've always found the food here to be great, and they have a lot of vegetarian options if that's your thing. It's dog friendly. It's a nice place to sit outside in the sun. Like I said, it's not too noisy because there's not too much traffic, but you always just have to find somewhere to lean the bike up against because there's just nothing in the entire street that's good for bike parking. And normally I'd sit outside, except when it's pouring with rain, which happened on this particular day. But even sitting inside and watching the world go by, it's not too bad. But they're one of many businesses around the area of all sorts that have just not been provided with any bike parking by the council. And where the council has provided bike parking, or the major shopping centres have provided it, it's god awful. It's just terrible. With a couple of exceptions, but on the whole, I'd give it an F. There's no doubt about it. So, food's great, coffee's great, service is really friendly in a lot of places. It's a nice place to cycle around, but there's no infrastructure for parking your bike when you actually get to one of these businesses and you want to spend your money. So, I go back to this place reasonably often, and I really like the food and the coffee, and I give it a thumbs up. But I do wish the council would come along and just kind of bombard the city centre with secure, convenient bike parking.